Google search is being replaced by AI. Hey everyone, it's Wolfgang. Wanted to cover this because a lot of people have wondered how much longer the old search engines are going to be around. If you're not familiar, search engines started appearing in the 1990s when the internet first started appearing. There were a lot of different search engines in the beginning. Google had a unique approach. Other search engines have come out in addition to Google. There's DuckDuckGo, there's Dogpile, and others. So I wanted to discuss AI is replacing all the old search engines. So generative AI, hands down, provides better results than Google search. Just hands down. There's just no comparison. Google search can only provide pre-existing static data sourced from the web. When you do a search in Google or any of the older search engines, they will retrieve data that has already been, it's located somewhere online, and it's just pulled up and displayed to you with a bunch of ads, generally. Generative AI does not return static data like that. So instead of going out to the web and looking for web pages, then serving up a web page that matches your search, artificial intelligence, generative AI, synthesizes data on the fly, sort of dynamically, not statically. The old search engines are like a dog who can fetch the paper for you, right? The old search engines can go get something that already exists. Generative AI can create answers to your questions by aggregating a lot of information and knowledge, sort of like a human. So static data that search engines return often does not exist for some things you'll search for. You might ask a generative AI system a question, a prompt, and you might get a result. But if you try to get the same sort of result from one of the old search engines, it's not happening. If there's no static data that can be retrieved to answer your question, you're out of luck. Here's an example. I started using a new editor, to create files. And there was a slight issue with it, and I could not find the answer by doing traditional search, and it wasn't really talked about in the manual. So I used generative AI. I posed the question. I said, here's the symptom I'm seeing. How do I fix this? Bam, within seconds, there was a very detailed answer that was a synthesis, that was synthetic. It had been, the way AI does it is it creates an answer a response that directly answers your question, sort of like a human. I mean, comparing the results I got back from Google to the AI result, Google was not helpful in solving this particular problem. There was a problem with this new editor, and Google was no help. AI had the results in seconds, and the response, it looked like the person who actually created that editor had typed in the answer. It was that detailed, it was that specific, it was that helpful. It solved the problem immediately. So the old search engines cannot do that sort of thing. They can only go out and grab static data. Traditional search is like a dictionary lookup. The dictionary already exists. Google sort of succeeded in the early days because it was a more effective dictionary lookup. It returned results that were more accurate for the search that you had entered. Older search engines like Alta Vista and others, the search results they would return were kind of wacky. A lot of them were like absolutely nothing to do with what you'd searched on. Google was a lot more relevant. The search results were more relevant. Generative AI, though, it's like having a human helper who knows everything and can retrieve a response, can create an answer to your question immediately. And they know everything. And the old search engines cannot match that. The old search engines, they serve up ads. They serve up static data that was found on the web somewhere. The value that they add is they try to provide a most relevant response. The old search engines try to be relevant, but they cannot synthesize an answer from a lot of different sources. So AI systems are trained on data. Search engines go out and collect data. It's just different. The way they're actually set up to have access to data, it's different. So here's the status right now as we speak of AI search engines. Back in 2023, they've been tracking this. In 2022, ChatGPT came out. That was a big breakthrough. In 2023, they started tracking this. 13 million, or about 6% of US adults, had stopped using search engines, the old search engines, and were relying on AI systems to search the web, basically. And they're predicting within less than 2 years, because we're already midway through 2025, by 2027, 40% of the U.S. population will stop using old search engines. So from 13 million to a much, 6% to 40% in a very short number of years, you can see the trend. People are catching on to the fact that, searching for something and being served up a bunch of ads, and then you have to sort through a bunch of responses to find something that's close, is a PITA. If you do a search with an AI system, you don't have to wade through a ton of ads. You don't have to search through a bunch of responses and several pages to find something. You hope to find something that's relevant. An AI system will return something that is credible, and if it can't find it, it tells you there's nothing you can find. So this is a shootout. This is a test I did in preparation for this video. I compared Google search, the old search engine, versus an AI system. I searched on non-China kitchen lighting. Like if you were remodeling your kitchen and you wanted some lighting that was not from China. So this is the result Google returned. Several ads about lighting, about ceiling fans, and about other kitchen products. The AI system returned 5 non-US suppliers of kitchen lights and no ads. So it was just much more helpful. The AI response was just more, and that's just one example. I mean, if you're searching on more esoteric things like, I have a background in electronics, in computer hardware, and computer software, and other types of high technology stuff like high power transmission lines, radios, receivers, a lot of different things in high tech. I can get really good, precise, very helpful responses from AI when I search on that kind of esoteric stuff. The search engines are like clueless because they can only find static data that already exists somewhere on the web, and hopefully they found data that matches what you're searching for. And oftentimes Google does not succeed. Like being served up a bunch of ads and then being shown matches for ceiling fans and kitchen product, not helpful. I don't have time for ads and non-relevant stuff. I want to know vendors who I can contact now to buy kitchen lighting from that are not in China. And that AI did that right away, and no ads. So there's some things I could not fit on the board. So is AI adoption artificially slow? So I said that 13 million, and this is data that you can find this online, 13 million in 2023. By 2027, and that was 6%, by 2027, 40% will stop using the old search. If you think about it, that's kind of slow, right? If AI is so good, how come we don't have 100% already by now? Because ChatGPT came out in 2022, 3 years ago. How come we don't already have 100% adoption of AI? There's a good reason, okay? This is one thing that the old search engines got right that AI has not caught on to yet. So the question is AI adoption artificially slow? Answer, yes. People are going to stick with free search engines, the old search engines, because they're free. Several AI systems are not free. Some are, and some you have to pay for. So in the early days of the old search engines, the secret sauce was not charging anything, and that sped up adoption. Google figured that out, so they switched to ads. There's a better way to do it than displaying a bunch of ads that irritate people or that are not relevant or waste time. So the AI systems have not figured out this free aspect yet. Some have not. So here are some business strategies that they might think about to ramp up adoption. Number one, keep AI 100% free for non-business users. Number two, keep it ad-free for all users, permanently, no ads. As soon as you start introducing ads, the quality of the experience drops. I'm not anti-capitalist. I understand we need advertising, but to speed up adoption, that's what they should do. Keep it free for non-business users and keep it ad-free for all users. Charge businesses a monthly subscription fee. And the expectation is that fee should drop because the cost of technology always declines, always drops, right? The cost of technology drops. Here's an example. When I was a kid and the IBM PC first came out, this was in the early mid 80s, I bought a 25 megabyte hard drive, 25 megabytes, not gigabytes, not terabytes, 25 megabytes. It was $250. And $250 back then was worth a lot more than $250 is now. Okay, $250 I paid for, I think it was a mini scribe, 25 megabyte hard drive for that computer. The computer came with, did not come with a hard drive. And if you look up now, like on Amazon, you can find 1 terabyte hard drives for $47. And that's in today's dollars. So, just a huge drop in price. So the expectation is, if you're going to charge business users for AI systems, there's an expectation that because your hardware costs are going to drop, so should your fees. If you're raising fees, you are putting at risk your business. Because here's the most important part, and I wanted to mention this towards the end. This is one of the most important things a lot of these AI companies are not thinking about. The first thing they're missing is they're charging for AI. It's really slowing adoption. The second thing they're missing is, if you think about it, who has won the all or nothing AI war right now? Has anyone actually won the all or nothing war with AI? No. How many people are competing? How many big companies and smaller companies and mid-sized companies are competing? A lot. So what these companies are missing is they are in the middle of a race for the top dog in AI. AI will probably have a top dog and then a second tier player. Right now, there's a contest that's ongoing, and they're putting up a barrier to adoption of their system. If the AI companies would follow this advice, free for non-business users always, and ad-free for all users, they would start taking share from the other, from any AI system that is currently charging a fee. They would start taking share. And I know of one AI system that's currently doing that. So. And people think, okay, first mover advantage and name brand are meaningful. And there is a first mover in the marketplace for AI systems right now. I think we all know who that is. And they have a brand. It is meaningless. It means nothing. Before Microsoft came along, there was a dominant operating system for PC-based computers. Microsoft had to compete with them. It took a while to put them out of business. So just because there's an early leader in name recognition, that means nothing about their longevity. If they keep charging, if they decide to start showing ads, if they keep charging users, it leaves a door open, because we're in the middle of the contest for the winner take all, the top spot in AI systems. We're in the middle of that contest. It is ongoing right now. ChatGPT came out in 2022. So the race is ongoing. No one has won. And they are, some of the companies that are charging and putting up a barrier, this is not very fast adoption. It is sizable. 40% adoption by 2027 is noteworthy. 40% of the US population will stop using the old search engines, but it should be 100%. I would argue it should be 100% by now. It could be, but these companies, they can't see the forest for the trees. They're charging for the service. They're slowing down adoption. And it's sort of like being in a race car, and getting an early lead in the race and then asking for the trophy and the prize money while the race is ongoing. It's stupid. You've got to wait until the end. You've got to win. You've got to drive the best possible race. And if you're putting up barriers that slow adoption, you are subjecting yourself to possibly losing a chance at the top spot in AI, because no one is the clear winner yet. There is a brand that's recognized, right? An early leader, a first mover, some would say the first mover advantage. It's meaningless if they blow it on the execution, and right now they are blowing it on the execution. There's one AI system that is not blowing it on the execution. I'm purposely leaving out names. I don't want to play a role in picking favorites, okay? But if you look at the AI landscape, you can easily find who is charging and who is offering for free. So that's kind of where we are with Google search being replaced by AI. Google got very greedy, unfortunately, and they started ruining their own search results with all the ads and the pages of stuff that you have to wade through to hopefully find something relevant. It put a bad taste in people's mouths. So people were just very happy to find AI systems that could replace them. So who do you think will keep charging for AI? They do not want their old search engine to go by the wayside. They have a vested interest in their ad model that's a lot of their revenue. So these sorts of problems for established companies prevent them from recognizing they need to change if they want to take the top dog spot for the new technology. So I don't think Google is going to wake up and figure this out. They might, but who knows? But right now, if you are interested in doing search online find a free AI system and abandon the old search engines, because they're pretty worthless. As soon as you see a couple of ads, it's like, I don't want to spend my time wading through a bunch of ads and maybe having to go through several pages hoping to find something that matches and then not finding it. Because a lot of times with Google search, that's what happens. So that's just my take on AI. AI is a huge breakthrough. Some of these companies are in the middle of a race. They took an early lead in the race and they're saying, give me the trophy now and the prize money because I'm going to win. No, the winner has not been reached yet. We all know that there's a competition, a serious competition. And these companies who are charging for using AI are slowing adoption. It's just stupid. It's just poor business thinking. You would want to charge businesses. That's acceptable because they have the means to be able to afford it. But end users, if they can get it for free, they're going to get it for free, right? If you have any questions about this, please post questions in the comments. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. I really want to thank everyone for watching and have a great day.